For today, we're playing Cyberpunk's DLC, which is Phantom Liberty, with the Steam Deck, and to start it up, we're playing the game at 800p at the lowest settings. Alright, going to the settings, and then video, here we are at the lowest settings. There we go. Okay, so far so good. 30 FPS in Dogtown. The graphics are pretty decent as well. Not too upset about it. Let's go and run inside the town though, which is this way I believe. FPS might fall below 30 at this point. And yeah, falling into the high 20s now. It's kind of stuttery, guys. Ooh, we got a car there too. Don't mind if I do, buddy. Thank you very much. Let me just take this off your hands. A lot of stuttering. Ooh. But yeah, not too bad with FSR. This can obviously be held at 30 just fine. And once we actually leave the city, the FPS should go back up to 30. It doesn't really. It's still sitting in the high 20s and the game is still stuttering, unfortunately. Wow, it's getting really bad now. Really bad now. 21 FPS. Every CPU core is pretty much maxed out in the 90s pretty much. GPU sitting at 95%. It's only using up 4 watts though, so we are being power limited by the system. If we could increase the TDP of the system, it would do better. Because the GPU clocks are down and the CPU clocks aren't fully maxed out either. But still, it's a decent foundation. I think with FSR, this might be playable at 30 FPS. The graphics won't look great. But if you want to play the DLC on the go, hey, it might be doable. We'll see, I guess. And I think for dock mode, I'm going to skip that for this game. It is just far too intensive. You can, I guess, play the game at 720p, but on a bigger TV or a bigger screen, that will look awful. So, it's really up to you. I'd personally avoid playing this game in dock mode. It's just so bad in this section. 17 FPS with a lot of stuttering. Let's just pause the game here, enable FSR, and run it again. Okay, enabling FSR. Let's go with the balanced preset, 40 FPS almost. That's pretty good. If you can hold 30 once we leave the city, would be fantastic. So far so good though, guys. Sitting in the low 30s / the mid 30s actually. What's up, buddy? Hold this real quick. Boom, boom, boom. I'm getting called again. Stop calling me. I don't care. I'm on a mission. Alright, the stuttering is still happening unfortunately. It is feeling quite bad. Oh, sorry. And still falling into the high 20s as well. Game is very much CPU bound. It's not great, but at least the graphics are still intact. What was that? Don't stop in the roundabout, man. Come on, what are you doing? Wow, this is awful. This is awful. And this is the lowest settings as well. So imagine using the Steam Deck preset, which is I think a mix of medium and low. That will be even worse than this. So what we can do at this point is lower FSR to the performance preset, as well as use dynamic resolution. That is the best case scenario for us anyway at this point. So let's go back out, try it out, and see if we can get 30 FPS. Alright, going to the settings, enabling performance FSR, as well as dynamic resolution. And there we go with that, 30 FPS is our target. Let's apply it and jump right back in. That is a weird issue. Look at that. Flickering everywhere. Let's pause it though, I actually want to enable a 30 FPS cap as well. And 30 FPS cap. Let's apply it. I'm going to ignore the flickering for now. It's not great obviously, it looks pretty bad. What's up buddy? Back for your car again. I'll bring it back to you, don't worry about it. That is awful, look at the graphics. Just bugging out completely. I think it's due to the sharpening, it looks like. Because it sharpens it and then it goes blurry again. I don't know. It's definitely unpleasant. Game's feeling a bit better here. Not as stuttery, but still not great. Sitting in the low to mid 20s and the high 20s like before. Oh my god, 13 FPS. The low settings is already off to a bad start. I will do the medium settings anyway. And we can see how it looks and how it performs. But from the start of it, this is not great. And for the medium settings, I'm going to keep FSR enabled. There's not much point in us disabling it and having even worse performance. And here we are with the medium settings. Ooh, the stuttering is back. Game looks better though for sure. I mean though, this is just not playable so far. I think on foot, it might be doable. But driving around is a big part of the game, so I don't know. The stuttering is crazy in the car though. GPU is now up at 5 watts and CPU sitting at 9 watts / 8 watts. I mean, it's about the same to be honest. Sitting in the low to mid 20. Wow, he's got some strong brakes on his car. Stopped immediately when he saw me. Yeah, not too different to be honest. I do want to stop and go on foot. It should do better on foot. And yeah, it does. Sitting in the high 20s now. / the low 30s. Still stuttering, but it's definitely better on foot. I guess it's playable if you walk around everywhere, but the map is pretty big, so I don't know about that. Alright, getting into combat. Yeah, it's feeling about the same, sitting in the 20s. Game is very stuttery too. Wow, this is awful. 24 FPS, guys. So in combat, it is pretty bad as well. Oh, look at that. The motion blur is killing it too. That looks awful. So yeah, that's the medium settings, the balanced FSR. Let's just go ahead and exit out and use the Steam Deck preset and see what they chose for us. Alright, the Steam Deck preset. Let's apply it. It's using balanced FSR as well as high and medium settings. That is, wow, they are very optimistic about it. This is not gonna rumble at all. But yeah, let's jump into it and see what the Steam Deck can do. Down into the 20s now in the intro. Can still hold the 30s occasionally. But yeah, very GPU intensive now, pulling 8 watts on the GPU and 4 to 5 on the CPU. In the car, this will be awful. Yeah, it's definitely feeling far worse. But the FPS is honestly quite close to the medium preset. Very stuttery on foot. FPS still falls below 30 as well. So, I mean, the Steam Deck preset is not going to happen. So I'd personally avoid the DLC on the Steam Deck. If you are wondering about the main game, it does run at 30 FPS just fine. I personally use a mix of low and medium settings with FSR enabled. So yeah, if you want to play Cyberpunk, play the main game. DLC is pretty much unplayable. It might get updated and it might become playable later on. But as it is right now, it falls into the 20s way too often and the game is far too stuttery to be enjoyable. Alright, that is Cyberpunk's DLC on the Steam Deck. And yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed and I'll catch you guys next time for the next video. See you guys there.